Just now, terrorists in front of the FBI made a terrorist attack. A fully loaded train overturned instantly. The number of casualties continues to soar. But what's even scarier is that FBI agents knew the accident was man-made, but they couldn't find any evidence. And they didn't know who was responsible. They had no choice but to turn to Raymond again, a supreme ruler of the criminal world. Raymond told Elizabeth, in fact, the similar murders have been happening all the time, but the cases were all eventually ruled as accidents. And among the thousands of victims, there are a few important people hidden away, like the judge in Ohio, a French diplomat, a congresswoman from New York, and so on. The rest of the civilians are funeral objects used to cover up the truth. The real culprit behind this series of murders, a killer known as Freelancer. Raymond used his resources to learn of Freelancer's next target. This time, he was going to assassinate Anna, a human rights activist. According to his research, Anna was a vanguard in the fight against human trafficking. It was because of her persistence the UN passed the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. 3 years ago, Anna's husband was murdered by a human trafficking organization called Everhart Cartel. They may have been responsible for this murder too. The police found Anna right away. They learned that Anna was going to hold a charity fundraiser, so they devised a plan to draw a snake out of its hole. The key to this plan was Raymond, because Raymond was the only one who had met Freelancer. Raymond naturally did not miss this opportunity to negotiate. He offered to personally assign 2 bodyguards. One of them is Raymond's former bodyguard Tim. The other one is Luli, a doctor of economics. She is specifically responsible for helping Raymond to get money. On the night of the event, the police had a tight security perimeter. Elizabeth entered the event with Raymond. The event started off well enough, and then Anna got the bad news. The trafficking ring they had been tracking recently had been lost. 60 girls had disappeared. Elizabeth wanted to ask more questions. Anna seemed to be getting used to it. Halfway through the event, Freelancer finally showed up. Raymond told Elizabeth to start moving immediately. At the same time, Freelancer noticed the anomaly. He turned around and rushed out of the hall. Agent Donald followed him. They chased each other all the way to the balcony. Freelancer suddenly flipped over and jumped off. At that moment, Elizabeth came after him in a cab just in time to collide with Freelancer. After that, Donald took Freelancer away for interrogation. Elizabeth put Anna in a safe house. Just as Elizabeth was about to leave, suddenly received a phone call from Donald. Under the pressure of confession, Freelancer revealed the truth. The mastermind behind this assassination operation was Raymond. He arranged this series of actions in order to create a chance to spend time with Anna alone. At this moment, Anna was feeling hot. She got up to pour water, but when she turned around, an oppressive feeling came over her. When Elizabeth came back, Raymond was still sitting calmly in her chair. Anna was sweating profusely because the Freelancer had already poisoned the drink. But killing her wasn't Raymond's goal. Raymond's goal was to reveal her true nature. Anna had always claimed to be a human rights activist, but this identity is only her protection. She used her status to facilitate secretly trade in human beings. The truth is, she's the one in charge of the Everhart Cartel. She had his husband and daughter killed by her. Anna is the biggest human trafficker in the Eastern Hemisphere. As for the foundation she created, it's just a money laundering tool for her. When it comes to life and death, Anna could only nod and admit it. Elizabeth didn't want to believe it. She always thought of Anna as a model of human femininity. She took the antidote from Raymond's hand and injected it into Anna, but it was too late. Anna was still dead. Afterwards, the police followed Raymond's clues. They found the 60 girls. This further confirmed Raymond's story. By now, Raymond had eliminated more people from the blacklist. His ambition gradually emerged. On the other hand, Elizabeth returned home, looking at her husband Tom's stash of guns. She decided to keep it quiet. Instead, she waited for Tom to confess. Next episode, Asian agent assassinates American spy. Like and follow us.